Sorry for the bad audio quality on my end. I had to record using some AirPods, but yeah, here's the rest of the podcast. Fed sounds really good. He uses work headset. I need to work on audio quality on my end. My bad, but here's the podcast. Welcome to the Racing Home podcast. So Fez and I are not together actually. This is the first time where we are podcasting remotely.
How dare you not
So
introduce me, by the way?
hey,
I'm
the
here
voice you just
too.
heard is Fez Babar. Yeah.
Racing Home Podcast
Yeah.
by Fez and Nick, or Nick and Fez. Gosh, man, like, come on, man. It's like, yeah, we're not together, but still, I'm still here.
Not today. Yep, you're still here.
Uh,
Yeah, my name. I actually never said my name. I don't think I've ever said my name fully, but
Yeah.
Nick Agater. Yeah, I have in the first one. Yeah, Nick Agater, and then Fez Babar, the yellow banana, Fez Babar, the black focus RS, Nick Agater.
It's Bobber.
So, is it not Babar?
No.
I actually thought I was saying it properly. I thought every time I heard
Mm-mm.
Bobber was like the incorrect way.
Dang.
How long have I known you? And I've been getting your last name wrong this
Well,
entire time.
it's been about a decade. It will be a decade in a year.
Quite literally. Damn, that's
Yeah,
embarrassing.
I met you in
All right,
2014.
well, okay. There's a section before we actually started officially recording where we're talking about accents. This is gonna be. I'm gonna add that in. Maybe like right now. Nah, I'll add it into the end as a blooper. But in any case,
After like the
so
outro
how was your
music.
weekend, Feds? Yeah, after the outro. How's your weekend?
It was rough, dude. I got COVID for the first time in 4 years, 3
That was your
years.
first time you went. Really?
Dude, okay. So I don't know if I told you this, but I drank bleach as a kid, and you know how.
No, you did not tell me that. That sounds worse than my bleeder screw incident. But go on.
So I drank bleach as a kid, right? And you know how Trump said that if you just inject bleach into your body or whatever, you'll be safe from COVID. So basically, like
Mm-hmm.
I drank bleach as a kid when I was like 6 or 7 years old, maybe, and it was good until I guess now it finally wore off and I got COVID. You know. So yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, I got COVID twice, like throughout the pandemic season.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're still in it. Any case, I caught it at the tail end of 2021,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think I caught it. No. Sorry, tail end of 2020, and then I caught it again in 2021. Was completely fine all of 2023 and two. Yeah, mostly two. And yeah, anyways, I got sick again like 2 weeks ago. Just with a cold, but it wasn't with COVID. It was just a cold.
Gotcha. Yeah,
simple.
I'm gonna try to mute myself every time I cough because I'm still kind of recovering from it. But yeah, like it was rough. My symptoms were all over the place. Started off with like.
Did you lose your taste?
I didn't lose
Did
my
you lose
taste.
your taste or smell?
I didn't lose my taste, but I guess I lost my smell because I couldn't. My nose was clogged. But I don't know if that counts. But yeah.
No, you would know. Like things just smell differently,
Mhm.
or you can't even smell it at all. So that was my case. Yeah, COVID sucks.
Mm-hmm.
After I got well, actually the second time was a lot better than the first time. And granted, I don't know, maybe it was a different strain or actually with the vaccine, but in any case, second time was better, and I've been lucky ever since. It sucks to get sick, no matter what disease it is.
True.
So that's okay. Well, sounds like you've been recovering for this past weekend. Oh, what did Carol and I do? Oh, we went this past weekend. We just went to played some board games with some college friends.
Nice.
And that was on Friday night. And then yesterday was Saturday. What did I do yesterday?
Holiday party.
Holiday party. Yeah, that was it.
How do I know that?
That I was posting on Instagram. That meant I must have had a good holiday party if I don't remember entirely everything that happened last night.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was pretty late.
Samsung goes.
But that was a lot of fun. the HVAC personnel at Samsung go hard. I will admit that.
I remember
Okay,
like in
so-
college, HVAC was like the last industry I wanted to be in.
Yeah, it's different. Well, it's like HVAC processing, and what's cool about it is that this is all like public information. I think. Anyways, I won't go into anything that's like too nitty gritty, but basically, like all the air that we feed into the fab,
Mhm.
and then all the air we need to pull out, we need to abate it and clean it before it actually gets emitted back into the environment.
Mhm.
So, like our group is responsible for that portion, and that's HVAC in a nutshell for Samsung. That's all I'm going to say about that before HR calls me and says like, "Hey, your podcast is shutting down."
Yeah. We should probably do a podcast and like explain our careers and journeys and whatnot too. Could be a good way. Like a lot of people out there that maybe wonder like
Yeah,
how we
I think that'd be
afford
pretty.
this and whatnot too. So.
Yeah, that actually would be pretty good. Yeah, because my journey is very different from a lot of people in my field,
Hmm.
as well as like I would say it's like 4 years delayed. Anyways, that's a whole different that's a whole different episode, and we'll get into that.
For
That'd be
sure.
pretty cool. So, and then tonight we were going to the Austin Trail of Lights at Zwicker Park to see some Christmas light shows.
Oh, I went
So,
there a long time ago. It was a really cool show, or the
yeah,
walk
it's
or
pretty
whatever.
long. Like, yeah, it's a pretty they have a lot of lights and it's pretty cool for kids, but even
Yeah.
like for teens or
Adults.
adults like ourselves, it's still a lot of fun,
Yeah.
especially in this day and age of pictures and more pictures on social media. It's fun in that regard.
Yeah, I went there in college and I remember it was packed. Like we couldn't find parking anywhere near. We had to walk quite a bit.
So the pro move in that case is to go ahead and just suck it up and pay for the parking nearest. It was like $30,
Hmm.
but we're taking the expedition and loading it up with 7 people,
Yeah.
including myself and Carol. So I think per person ends up being pretty reasonable. Otherwise, yeah, if you have 5 different cars showing up there and meeting up at the light show,
Hmm.
it's expensive and logistical nightmare. But yeah,
Yeah.
we're meeting up at a friend's house and then driving over after this show.
I remember it was I went there with Kenny and Min, our friend Min Win, at the time, and we drove my brother's Escalade down from Dallas to Austin.
Didn't that Escalade beat a BRZ once with 8 people? Is that the same Escalade?
Yes, sir. It's Escalade. It's short wheelbase Escalade. The not I guess they're all the same wheelbase, but just the short one, short Escalade with 8 people
Yeah, that's
inside
short
of it.
wheelbase.
Beat a turboed BRZ in a street race. How?
It was just a quick
Lord knows.
it
But
was just a
America.
quick little like yeah, it was a quick little sprint from 0 to like maybe 50 miles per hour. But like it was funny to see that expedition Escalade packed with people keeping up with this turbo BRZ right next to
Dude,
it.
that just shows
That was
we
funny.
should all have
An
Corvettes.
American Power. Oh, I okay. Zach is going to chime in here and say, yes, I agree.
Everything should be LS powered, or everyone should be driving Corvettes.
They are pretty dang good, but they don't really fit into street class for me.
Just chop off half the cylinders, dude.
Yeah, okay.
It
Wouldn't
has
that basically be a no, not a neon, the cobalt?
no. It's
I don't
it's
know.
already
I
it
don't.
already has that feature, right, where you can shut off half the cylinders.
True, but the rules don't say if you add cylinders. I don't care if it's running or not, but like they exist in there, so no longer in street
So
class.
you can't just pull the spark plugs.
Talk to Adam.
That's a
That
weird
might
sounding
he might
V8
be
right
like
there.
he might be like like sure, why not? Let's see how it does.
I mean, that's
It's
how
a really dumb idea.
that's basically how Club TR happened. Like Club TR was mainly like 2.5 liters or below or whatever engines, and then 2550 min weight. And then they added the 128i in there with Ito. Ito was like, I just want to see how it goes. They were like, sure, let's try to give it a shot. Then now 128i's were legal. And now there's a ton of cars legal in Club TR, and that's part of the rules that we're going to get into.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm pretty excited to see what Club TR looks like this upcoming year.
I'm scared.
Yeah, before we get into rules, schedule.
Hmm.
So what events are you attempting to commit to?
So, a little background first. So, as some of you guys might know, Nick and I compete with Gridlife Time Attack, and Gridlife just announced their 2024 schedule at PRI. So, we'll be going over that today to go over, see what events are on the schedule, and then what we plan to do. So,
Yeah.
starting off,
The
Nick.
schedule got released 2 days ago. As of this recording, it got like officially released on Friday, and we're recording the following Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Go on.
rumor
Were you
schedule is
wanting
pretty
to ask me?
close, by the way.
It was.
Yeah.
Actually, oh man, I deleted the photo. Oh no, I still have it here. Yeah, it's pretty close. They just didn't have Road America on there.
Hmm.
Like when they the initial one didn't list Road America, but the date does match. I didn't pay attention to the other dates or events, but they all seem to be there on the provisional schedule. Okay, go on. What was your question to me?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you want to list off the events on the schedule? You can list off the
Yeah.
festival. I
Oh,
can list
yeah.
off the club or something.
Yeah. So the festival events, since that's the main one that people really t- that's the one that gets streamed. The festival has the competitive format with the not bracket racing, but they set it up to where like there are two laps at the end and the track sprint are the ones that matter. That's at the festival events. That includes drifting, GLTC.
Mm-hmm.
So those and not every event, but a lot of them have music. So the event schedule for this year: Carolina Motorsport Park, April 12th; Gingerman Raceway Midwest Fest, June 7th; Road America, July 26th; Lime Rock Park, August 16th, and then they are returning to Laguna for the second year, September 27th. Oh, we are at the 17. Okay, as of when I started recording, 17 minutes. So roughly 17 minutes into this podcast episode, I'm going to bring up Ravi. He better go to that one.
What? What just happened?
We bring him up every podcast. So like, I think it has to become a thing where we like. I try to see like how many minutes in can we go before Ravi gets brought up.
17 minutes. Does it count 17 minutes? Because we were talking for like the first 6, 7 minutes, anyways.
Oh, yeah, it counts as 17 minutes roughly.
Okay. All right.
It shows 17 minutes as of this recording, and I'll include the bloopers
Well,
at the
hello,
end.
Ravi, if you're listening.
Yeah, that's the Midwest, not Midwest. Those are the
Festivals.
festival schedules.
Yeah.
So what do you got for club?
But yeah, to add to the festivals, yeah, it's one of my favorite events to go to because it's one of the events where you don't really have to be a racer to enjoy because there's always something going on. There's like a lot of big companies out there. Like T-Pain was performing at Laguna Seca last year. Gingerman had a bunch of like EDM guys out there. So it's just a fun events that we would like to go, that we like to attend and just have fun at. And yeah, the podium sprint formats are pretty fun too with it. But yeah, for club events, we have Willow Springs in April of 2020 or 27th of April.
Hmm.
Gingerman, May of 18th. Mid Ohio, June 28th. Audubon Country Club, September 14th. Pit Race, which is a new track, October 11th. And then Thunderhill, November 16th, which I don't know if that's a new track or not. That is a new
You
track.
notice the you notice the photo they used
The,
for that Thunderhill announcement?
they
What car is that?
it's a little GR86.
I was looking through the photos. I was like,
Mhm.
that's Fez's car they used for the Thunderhill photo.
Yep,
I guess that means you're going to Thunderhill.
that is my car. They also used my photo for the PRI award announcements or whatever.
That's
It's
hysterical.
like
The fact that you were not there.
me, like raising my hand at like Uniseka when I got the podium or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So of those events, at least I'll speak to myself. So what I'm trying to go to Gridlife ideally. Let me just scroll down. I already listed this out.
Did you
So I'm
drink a
gonna
Celsius by the way
try.
before this?
Hmm?
Did you drink a Celsius before
No.
this? Okay,
Why?
you sound very hyper.
Oh, well, no, I have these Premier protein drinks, and they do have each one is equal to a cup of coffee plus
Oh,
like 30 grams of protein. So I'm trying to get my weight goals or gym goals by the end of the year.
3 grams
I'm
or
trying to
30 grams?
30 grams,
Oh, nice.
30. So it's a decent little
Send me a
package.
link.
I really like drinking these in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm drinking one right now because I skipped lunch.
Gotcha. Yeah, I need to get back on the gym
Um,
stuff too.
that'd be cool. 2024 or yeah, 2024 kind of gym aspirations as well. Things we want to like complete in 2024.
Yeah.
I've less than what roughly 2 weeks until the end of this year, trying to hit my weight goals.
Mm.
So we'll see. We'll see if I can bench 220 pounds before the year end.
Why
Like as a
220? Why
max,
not 225?
not a rep. Hmm?
Why not 225? Why 220?
220 because it's roughly 100 kilos.
Oh yeah, I gotcha.
So it's like that first like a first barrier I'm trying to break through is 200 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Just a single max press, which for a lot of people that's like really that's nothing. For me, it's I've never been able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I hit 200 pounds, I want to do 220.
Send me
So
send me a video
220,
of you benching, and maybe I can help you out. I don't know if people that don't know this. I used to competitively powerlift for like 6 or 7 years. So
yeah, I'll do that. I'll have Carol record me next time we go to the gym and I try another max.
mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Oh, I'm gonna cough now. There's no way for me to mute it easily. Okay, so I'm gonna try to go to. So
So, what events are
initially,
you trying to
sorry,
get to, Nick?
I'm gonna try to go to Jitterman Rev Up on May 18th, Midwest Fest
Hmm.
on the 7th, Mid Ohio on the 28th of June, and then Road America on the 26th of July. Are those all the same events you're gonna try to go to, or is there another one?
Yeah, pretty much. It works out for me because my sister lives in Chicago area, so I can just leave my car there from May till July and just do all the events and then drive them back.
I will say there is a massive asterisk on my part of the schedule where it's like this can only work if I can also park my car at your sister's place.
The same time length, like same time frame, from May till July.
Yes, May to July, yes.
Uh,
But it wouldn't be so. Okay, here's the other part of this. The schedule is actually going to get topic in a little bit longer because of my crazy idea
hmm
of actually driving quote unquote a streetcar all the way over to Chicago. I'm not going to tow it.
What?
I was like, come on, Fez, respond something.
Um.
I'm just gonna drive it over there. So the reason being is that one, it becomes a lot cheaper.
Uh-huh.
Two, I want to keep the expedition down here, like for the summer months, to actually tow the jet ski to the lake.
hmm
Because I don't want to. That's the problem. Is like I don't want to tie up the expedition as well for almost 2 months in Chicago. So one, I can drive the Focus over there. Like I've done them before several times, like NCM. And then what I'm gonna do, when I got my cargo box that I put on top of the expedition, it
hmm
actually came with aluminum bars. So all I need to attach it to the Focus are like the little feet locks that attach it to the roof. So I'm gonna use a cargo box on top of the Focus to take even more stuff with me. So I should be able to fit all 8 of my track tires inside of the Focus while driving on the street tires, and then having tools and lawn chairs and the tent kind of scattered somewhere inside the Focus and on top of the Focus. This is my crazy game plan to make this all doable on as cheap as possible as I can make it. What are your thoughts? Hello?
Sorry, I was coughing and muted. Um, I think it's doable. You could also just tow the car out there and drive back with your expedition, and then fly back in between, and then just drive the
Well,
Focus
yeah,
between
so
events.
that's the thing is that I'm gonna be flying back and forth between these events.
Mm.
So like I would drive the Focus out and I already have it listed out as far as like the days I would need to fly from Austin to Chicago
hmm
and back and forth. I think so I'd have to fly out. I need like 3 round trips, and when I price it out like a month ago,
hmm
it was about like $400 to $456. We'll probably use points to pay for all these
It's
flights.
cheaper the closer to the days, by the way. And check
Yeah, that's
Southwest.
true.
Southwest has cheaper flights to Dallas, Chicago.
Oh
I
yeah. This is
meant.
just like me looking real quick. Like, let me just get a ballpark estimate of like how much I may need to spend.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm still trying to reduce the cost as much as possible. And
Yeah.
so driving the car out there, I think is gonna be the cheaper way to do it. Like it's better MPG. I don't type the expedition. And worst case something does happen,
Mhm.
I've got you there.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I will have all the tools and all the stuff that you need, and then I will also have my trailer with me too. So, like, if
Exactly.
anything
And if
does
Andy
happen, you can
right,
drive
and
my
if
car
Andy
back.
goes, oh my gosh, yeah. And if Andy goes, then we also have his car and trailer as an option.
I don't
Like
know.
the chances of all 3 cars breaking down are pretty slim. Like
Let's not
that
jinx it.
there's a pretty slim chance.
Uh,
Hmm?
let's not jinx it. But
No,
yeah.
yeah, that's true. But
um.
that's the current goal to try to like still make it out there while trying to save as much money as possible doing this and not tying up the expedition over there.
Yeah.
Also, it's just like there's so many comments recently about like streetcars are no longer streetcars. They're not actually getting driven to events. So I'm just like, you know what? Let me just do what I did for NCM and drive it out there.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be crazy if you actually got podiums too, and then drove the car to the events. Why not? That'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool. I just want to go out there and have fun.
Yeah, dude.
Honestly, like, oh man, Road America. I was playing it the other day in Forza,
hmm
and it is such a fun track. It's a long track. I forgot how long it is.
It's the longest
At least
track
in
in
like,
America.
is it really?
It's the longest track in America. It's like 4.048 miles, something like that. I used to have a shirt
No
that
way.
said that. Yeah.
Road America. Or let me see here. Hold on. Long
Wait, maybe
is
how long is Ozarks International Raceway? Maybe it changed.
so apparently the five biggest racetracks in the United States. I'm literally just
Oh,
opening
that's
up the
one.
very first link that pulls up. So number five. You want to take a guess?
And Coda.
Nope.
No.
Further east.
Further east, north or south?
Very south. Further east. Pretty far
Roebling
south.
or Daytona?
There you go, Daytona. So Daytona International Speedway is 3.56 miles,
Nice.
built in 1959.
Uh-huh.
Number four, also in the same state.
Roebling.
Take a guess. Nope.
What's in the
The
track?
track that people that's very bumpy. You can see it in Forza how bumpy it is, and I've also heard from others that it can mess with suspension.
I'm forgetting the name of the track, but I know what you're talking
Starts with
about.
an S.
Sebring.
Sebring.
Sebring. There you go.
Yep.
You didn't even let me guess.
Sebring International. Well, you said you gave up.
Okay. Well, you told
Okay.
me S, so I knew after S. Gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sebring. Next.
Established in 1950. Wow, some old tracks.
Yeah.
All right, so now number three is Road America at 4.0 miles.
Really?
According to this article,
Oh, also
this article posted
Ozarks International
2017.
Raceway is longer. Is also 3.97 miles.
Dang.
Yeah. So.
Okay, well then that's
But that's
yeah,
a very new track. So yeah.
this article was made in 2017, so that makes sense.
So what's the
All right,
second
so
first?
then number two, holy shit, this is a track I've been to, not with my car, but the same car. That's all the hint I'm going to give you.
In the one in Utah?
Yep, Utah Motorsport Campus.
How long is that?
4.48 miles, basically
No way.
4.5 miles. If you if you include everything and do a full course, 4.5 miles. I didn't do the full course, so never mind. I have to take that back. I was at the complex. I think we did one of the two, but it's a fun track too. Number one, I've been here. Number one, and it's on the Gridlife schedule.
Thunderhill?
Yep, Thunderhill Raceway Park. Do the full course. It's 5 miles.
Why is that not known? Like, why does nobody know about that? Or are we the only ones that don't know about it?
I didn't know, but
Do they
now
run that
according to
configuration? Does it count if they don't run that configuration anymore?
yeah, good question. I'll include this link in the podcast show notes, and if you don't think this counts, then let Fez and I know. We're just gonna go off this one article from 2017.
Okay, so
Do it.
top 15 longest active racetracks in the world. Okay, Sebring 3.7 miles, 3.8 miles is Macau Grand Prix, the track over there. Then Jeddah is 3.8
Oh, in the
miles.
world. This is the world.
Yeah, it's the world.
Okay.
Bathurst Mount Panorama Circuit in Australia 3.9. Bahrain is 3.9. They make it seem so small though when Formula One goes there. Um,
Well, yeah, with Coda, so like perspective,
mhm.
at Super Lap Battle 2021, I did 235. Jamie did 232. Ravi did 222. Chris Mayfield and his BMW, I think, did a little bit faster than Ravi. Honestly, I can't remember, but like he was in the 220s. They're in the same class.
And then Formula One's what?
So Formula One's 1 minute 30, like literally a minute faster.
Jeez.
50 seconds to a minute faster.
Jeez. But yeah,
Perspective of how fast Formula One cars
the Ozarks International Raceway is 4 miles, and it's actually the seventh longest track in the world.
4 miles.
Yeah.
So okay, that's Road America link.
Reno Fernley Raceway. No, it's actually a little bit smaller than Road America. Road America is like 4.04 or something like that. Road America is
okay.
Road America is right there as well. Monticello, 4.1 miles. It's private event. It doesn't count if it's private. Spa is 4.4. Utah
I would say no, it doesn't count.
Utah Motorsports Campus is 4.5 miles. Jeez, it's active racetrack. Australia, France, whatever. Nürburgring, 15.8 miles. Isle of TT, 37.7 miles. Cool.
Jeez. Wait, can I even go? Oh yeah, could we? I don't even know if I have enough gas to do that.
What, 37 miles?
Yeah, like wide open throttle for 37 miles because my fuel tank is roughly 10 gallons,
Uh-huh.
like of usable fuel. I'm getting 3 to 4. I'm getting about 3 to 4 miles per gallon while on track.
So you could.
That's a full tank of
Theoretically.
gas.
Full tank and gas, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a full tank of gas to do that course for
Insane.
point A to point B. Dang.
We
Okay.
got very sidetracked, but that was an important conversation to have. I don't know why, but it was. Um,
Well, it's actually crazy to think that the Gridlife schedule for 2024 has
two
what
of the longest tracks in
two of
America.
the top five, yeah, two of the top five longest tracks in America are on the schedule. Pretty cool. And Lime Rock, arguably one of the smallest tracks.
Yeah.
That's like very big and well known.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me to make the schedule happen, I need that prime parking real estate over there in Chicago.
If it's
So
just the Focus, I feel like it'd be okay.
and that's the other thing too, is that I felt bad for having like the entire setup
Uh-huh.
parked there, like taking up space at your sister's location. So I want to like minimize the footprint that I'm taking.
Very good.
And
We could.
here's the other thing. One last piece is that the week of Road America, I'm probably going to head up to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
I need to talk to my mother and sister about this. But if we do head up to Minnesota to check on the cabin, then I would probably drive the expedition up, go to Minnesota, and then drive over to Road America since it's only 8 hours away.
Mm.
And then when I drive back home, I'd pick up a U-Haul trailer and tow the Focus back.
Yeah.
So worst case, like send it in Road America. If something happens, I can still tow it back.
Yeah. But yeah, dude.
There we go.
For me, like I'm pretty much doing the same events as you as well. The Midwest Festival, Reva, Road America, Mid Ohio, and then potentially Lime Rock. Potentially.
I want to do it, but it's just logistically a nightmare right now to try to do that this year.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
I'm gonna try to do it. I mean, you can fly out, and I guess if you want to co-drive, you could do that too. Up to you.
That'd be fun. Yeah, if you do end up going, I definitely would be down.
And then just
So,
help me tow
by
it
the
back.
way, so which track do you think is farther away from us, Laguna or Lime Rock?
Lime Rock.
Yep. At least from my house, it's 1 extra hour of driving, according to Google,
I think it's the
which
same for
towing
me.
means like 1 point. Same distance? I guess that makes sense from Dallas.
Uh-huh.
Actually, maybe it's a bit closer to Lime Rock. I'm just kind of looking at like where Dallas and Austin is, because Austin is technically a little further west,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't have an interstate running through us east west, just north
Yeah.
south. So
But yeah,
pretty cool. Okay, well
going
that's where we're trying to go. We'll see what happens.
yeah, going back to Road America, I'm pretty excited about that track coming back to grid left schedule. So I went to Road America back when I had an FRS that was on like a 93 tune on federal RSRs and did like a 150 lap time on it, which was insanely stupid. Um, but yeah, like it was the car was so slow on that racetrack. Like on the straightaways, I was literally on Facebook scrolling, like trying checking notifications, because like it's a mile, almost a mile long straightaway, which is like stupid, and it's also uphill the front straightaway. So I'm just like, all right, like the whole time. Um, so
Yep.
I didn't enjoy it very much because my car was so slow. But I feel like it'd be more fun now with a little bit more power and lighter car. I think I'm gonna
Yeah, I
be
think it'd be pretty good
I think I'm gonna be outgunned that racetrack though for sure.
by the Hondas.
By the people with shorter gearing essentially. Because
True, or
I
potentially some of these other cars that have more torque now in Club TR for considering their engines are now legal.
that
We'll get into that.
That too, yeah. So like the reason why I'm saying this is because when I compared my data from one of my competitors and friends, Mario, with his EG Civic, he has like a super short gearing in that car, and we were at Mid Ohio. I checked the mapping of our back straight speeds or whatever, and after we hit fifth gear, like it's neck and neck right next to each other till fifth gear. And once we hit fifth gear, he is continues to climb, and I slow down because my gearing is like basically I'm done. I'm at it right there. Like I have no torque there, no power. So for me to be, and Road America is like has a longer straightaways as well. So for me to be competitive, yeah, I'm gonna have to do something or just go there and have fun. I don't know.
Right. I
I'm
gotcha.
losing my competitive spirit for next year. I don't know why.
Why?
Just like
Why? I don't know why.
I, I like how shocked
If
you
you
are.
had to guess.
uh, I don't know, dude. I'm getting tired of competition. I say that now, but as soon as I start losing, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like I will probably like go
You go all in.
yeah. So I have some plans for next season. I just ordered new coilovers for my car as well, so that'll be a good
Wow.
one.
1 week later, after talking about what you're doing to the car or the lack of doing stuff to your car, you're like, maybe coilovers.
I
5
mean,
coilovers.
it's a new partner that's joining me today. Uh,
Oh, nice.
so I'm gonna work with him and the company and whatnot to help with the car. He is an ex-Moton employee. Um, and yeah, I'll announce it more once I have the coilovers and we can talk about it then. But yeah, dude, it's pretty excited about that. So pretty excited about next season. Potentially Lime Rock, but at least at minimum doing Rev Up, Midwest Festival, Road America, and Mid Ohio.
Nice.
Oh, did you
I just realized
also
I need.
hear that there's a
Oh,
potential of Mid Ohio still retaining the podium sprint format?
no, I did not hear that.
Maybe there's rumors going around to people. I did not get a chance to see the live stream when they were doing the announcements, but yeah,
Wait, Mid Ohio is a.
it's a
Wait,
club
Mid Ohio
weekend.
what? Oh, it is a club
It's a
weekend.
club weekend now,
Huh.
yeah.
In my head, I thought it was a festival weekend, even though I already read it out. You're right. Mid
So
Ohio is a club weekend.
Mid Ohio had a repave this year, and I think that's probably why they're not allowing drift cars probably to go on that track.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to maybe go down from a festival
Festival
weekend
to
to a
a
club.
club weekend.
Yeah,
Do you think they're still going to stream it?
I don't know.
Oh, they did. Actually, I take that back. I think. Oh man, I recall someone saying that, like during the PRI live stream,
Hmm.
I do recall them saying that they're going to try to do streaming for some of the club circuits, since some of them are already set up pretty well for streaming, anyways.
Hmm.
It wouldn't be, from what I recall them saying, would not be in the same depth as an
Hmm.
actual festival weekend. It may just be like a continuous stream playing, and maybe people come in and out. I don't know how they would do it, but like it would be a limited capacity. So maybe that's another opportunity where they would do streaming at Mid Ohio, even though it's a club weekend.
Potentially, yeah, it's a good point.
Because I thought that was the whole point of doing the podium sprint, anyways, was to try to make it more interesting for the stream and make it more interesting for spectators.
Hmm.
Which, as a spectator myself, I actually really enjoy it. I think it's pretty cool. And then also competing at it, for me, my first time at Laguna, that was also a lot of fun. It was just uh, a different angle of being ready for the run,
Hmm.
and like yeah, for me, I mean, I did not get into the podium sprint, so I only had the qualifying rounds, but that was nice to know that in the practice I can kind of really use it as a learning opportunity, and then in the qualifying session, that's when it mattered. So it just amped up the level of readiness that all the drivers need to be at.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, streaming's like I love it. I love listening to Kyle go crazy on it. So
Kyle, yeah, he's
Kyle and
awesome.
Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Okay. So then for the rules for this upcoming year,
Yeah.
are there anything, so you got new coilovers, so that obviously means that the coilovers fit into the rules. There's no problem there.
Yeah.
But is there anything that you need to change on your car to continue competing in Club TR, or is like everything that is 2023 spec of your car still good for 2024?
So let me start off with like the rule changes of that happened in Club TR for next
Oh,
year.
hold on.
Yeah.
This is all provisional still. So like the
Yeah.
official rules for 2024 have not been confirmed. This is all provisional.
Uh-huh.
They said that they put it out there to try to get a read on the feedback, get some
Hmm.
feedback on the rule changes, and they're listening to competitors and making changes as necessary.
Hmm.
But yeah, go on. What are we gonna say?
Yeah, so a couple changes. One change that I'm actually like surprised that didn't happen was the splitter in Club TR. So Splitter. There was a huge drama at Rev Up last year with splitters where they were measuring the splitter from the bumper of the car when the rules stated it was any vertical surface. So, um, vertical surface being air dam. So some people, well, at least the 8.6 guys, because there's a gap in the front because it's like two teeth that come out, and then there's a gap in the front.
Yeah, the Focus has that too, where like there's 2 points that stick out
Yeah,
further forward than the center point of the car
exactly. So
in
people,
the
so
front.
instead of like people going inwards for their air dams, they just made it rounded it out basically, and there's a gap between the bumper and the air dam in the middle part of the bumper. So
Mm-hmm.
technically, that is legal because you're vertical surface 3 inches from the vertical surface of the air dam, right? But
Mm-hmm.
we had some issues where they were measuring from the bumper instead, and they were like, "Oh, your splitter is actually 5 inches, not 3 inches." When I mean, the rule stated it was supposed to be from the vertical. And then,
Yeah.
like I asked, like, hey, like you guys are changing your stuff, but like this doesn't say the rules. Are you guys gonna change it, the rules for Midwest Festival, which is like a week and a half at the time? And they were like, no, it's probably gonna be
Mm-hmm.
end of the season thing. Come to Midwest Festival, Dana's unloading his car and he's disqualified because they didn't do it. They were like,
Oh
yeah,
no.
whatever. And then
Mm-hmm.
the rule change was basically word of mouth. It was like, hey, just tape your air dam to your bumper so there's no gap, essentially. Then that ripped
Hmm.
my freaking wrap off when I did that. Um,
That
so I was
sucks.
expecting some changes here in the verbiage of the splitter,
Yeah.
but they did not
Yeah.
change it. Because technically, their concern, Abe's concern was, which is a very valid concern, that people might cheat and like put the air dam out like 3 or 4 inches, and then like
Mm-hmm.
if you're 3 inches from that air dam, technically it's still legal, but like I mean, nobody's doing that. That's the thing. Nobody's freaking doing it, but like it's just it is what it is. Um,
I got you.
so no change there. But so one change that they did allow was the Lexan polycarbonate is now allowed since it's really a weight
For Windows?
min weight class. Yeah.
Oh, I read it here. Yeah, replacing glass with Lexan or polycarbonate is allowed for weight reduction purposes, except for windshields,
hmm
as this is a minimum weight class in most scenarios. So you're going polycarbonate for your side windows and back windows? Good to know.
Yes, I am. I am.
Wait, really?
Yes, I am.
What?
What?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Dang. Are you gonna do it yourself, or are you gonna like? How's
Uh,
that? Are you? Yeah.
I've never
When?
played
How?
with Lexan, so I don't know how it's gonna work. I probably have to pay a shop to do it. I think so I found a website in the UK because apparently a lot of people are on Lexan apparently in the UK or Europe too. So it's already molded to be the same shape as the glass. So I think the way you install that is the same way you would install the glass. The other option is you just buy a sheet of Lexan, cut it, and then rivet it into the car, which I don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to drill holes in my car. Um, I want it to look as OEM as possible, essentially. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking of right
Hmm.
now. Negative side to Lexan though is it's probably like an 80-pound weight loss, right? Which is awesome. Negative is that it's not legal in most classes. So
What other classes?
if I want to run a local event at NASA, for example, like NASA TT4, I can't because
Oh,
I am
yeah.
now I think it's only allowed in like the super unlimited class for NASA,
I gotcha.
which
Yeah.
I'm like kind of I guess whatever.
Hmm. Well, yeah. I guess you can cross that road when you get there, but for staying competitive at Gridlife, it would be the next best thing to go and do. Also, Richard with the Corvette over here in Austin,
Uh-huh.
he's done Lexan on the back window of his Corvette.
Oh,
So
cool.
he did that himself, so he has experience with it. So I can get y'all connected if you're just trying to get a feeler for the process and the
Yeah,
do's and don'ts and any gotchas.
that'd be great. Yeah,
Well,
I
cool.
wasn't gonna do the windshield anyways because I've heard like it gets scratched up and gets hazy really easily, and then it
Hmm.
breaks and cracks or whatever really easily. So I was just gonna keep the OEM glass for the front windshield, but everything else I was gonna go Lexan.
Cool.
One thing
Okay,
I don't
so scroll.
understand about this is that they want us to retain OEM glass, or not OEM glass. Where's it at? Hold
Was it like the interior panels, like the door panels?
on. Yeah, the window, the side windows.
Oh, Wait to say that.
There's a interior rule where I think before you weren't allowed to remove your glass unless you had a cage, which was like the safety thing that they had in there. Now it just says that this is a minimum weight class. In most cases, weight reduction to get close to allowed minimum weight are allowed, but not in the case of structural strength reduction measures or anything affecting safety of the driver, hence the glass height class. But this is a subject to technical inspection, must be declared at the time of technical inspection as at the risk of disqualification if concealed. So, um, I that's kind of unclear. Um,
Email Adam and Abe.
basically, yeah. I'm not sure. So maybe if I can probably go like saying, I don't know, and then just not roll my windows up and down or something. I don't know.
That sounds terrible in Texas heat. Not being able to roll down your windows.
It's gonna. Should I take the
That would
AC out
suck.
too?
Especially no if you're not able to roll down your windows. You're literally gonna be cooking.
Well, I mean, the windows will be rolled down. You have to have the windows rolled down. It's gonna be stuck in the bottom position essentially the entire time,
Oh yeah, I don't know where I heard. I thought I heard you say that you were not gonna be able to roll it down.
or roll up.
Um, or
Um,
roll up. Yeah.
but yeah, so that's
Hmm.
the kind of rule change. Like saying something I'm considering right now. But they did add a lot of different engines and a lot of different cars. So like now 350Zs can, 350Zs and Maximas can join Club TR. uh,
Well, there's an asterisk with that. So I'm actually looking at the bullet point. It says the VQ 30 to 35 parentheses non-HR.
uh,
So the not the high rev, right? HR high rev.
I have no idea.
I don't know Nissans. Anyways, yeah. So non-HR engines are allowed. Front wheel drive or wheel drive in chassis of origin, no swaps. So yeah, your Maxima can now join naturally aspirated and in OEM internal form to meet other class rules. Minimum weight for them will be 3,000 pounds for the 3 liter and 3,150 for the 3.5 liter.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hefty boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and then
but I mean, it all makes sense. It all seems pretty balanced. Like for the car, oh, the Subaru, the 3.6 liter.
yeah, so the ideal car right now in Club TR is a BRZ with an Easy 36 swap. The Easy
Interesting.
36 can make around 270 wheel or 260 wheel, and it's still the minimum weight is 2550.
Yeah, all cars must meet minimum weight of 2550.
Yeah, so if
Hmm.
someone does that, it's GG essentially.
How much power does that put down?
260
Did
to
you say that?
270.
How much does yours put down right now at E85?
220 to 230, something like that, depending on dyno.
Okay. Hmm.
So it's
Okay.
significant. It's significant amount of power. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
that would be interesting. Is that something that you would actually like be interested in
no,
doing?
I I
Oh.
I, I want to potentially retire after this year. So, um, I would rather do the 1.6 turbo from the GR Corolla in my car.
That does sound very fun. I
Yeah,
would
dude,
fully
300
support
wheel
that.
horsepower from that. That'd be awesome. Um, but yeah, they added a bunch of engine sizes that we can run now with the min weight with driver. So like if you're running a K20, you can be min weight at 23, 25, which is pretty insane. Um,
Yeah. Are you looking at the chart like where it says if swapping a smaller engine into a vehicle,
mm,
go to this chart for looking at your minimum weights.
yeah.
So like a 2 liter, yeah, 2 liter to 2.35 minimum weight of 2,400 pounds.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So this opens up like a lot of cars in the class. The class is already one of the largest classes in Gridlife. So Club TR is going to have like 2 sessions basically. It's gonna be a fun
It's
one.
a huge field. I remember when I was watching you over at Autobahn this past summer,
Yeah.
where yeah, you were in group A with the other like incredibly quick cars, and then at the same time there were cars in Club TR that were in group D. So you had a Club TR car in every single run group,
Mm-hmm.
D through A through D. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was one of the largest spreads by position. Street class was also pretty spread out as well.
Yeah.
There was a streetcar in D and A, but I think Club TR was like at the pointy end of both sides. Some of the fastest and some of the slowest.
That's what I don't like about the class. A lot of people were complaining that like, oh, they made the class so big and like we're already over or like lapping other people and lapping Sunday Cup or whatever in our sessions and whatever. And I'm like, do we realize that the Club TR cars are actually slower than the pointy end of Sunday Cup?
Hmm.
Like it's
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. Like I think most events, the slowest car on the grid is a Club TR car, not a Sunday Cup car. You
Is
know,
it a
like
Club TR? Yeah. Well,
it's
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
it's we shouldn't blame Sunday Cup cars. Like they don't want to like yes they might impede our lap, but like they get out of the way, but they're also ruining their laps by getting out of our way. So that they don't want to impede us just as much as we don't want to be impeded. Um, so I think the class itself, like there needs to be some kind of regulation to control the amount of people that join, because um, yeah, like there's been a lot of times that I had to lap a Club TR car and within like 1 or 2 laps after, and and they had the person in the very back of Club TR had no idea what they were doing. Like they were taking some odd lines, kind of making it look like the line was open for you to kind of they
Mm-hmm.
want you to overtake, and they would cut right into you, or they would give you a point by but then turn right into you, or like just doing ridiculous stuff. And I'm like, I think that's what I'm
Yeah.
worried about with Club TR for
I
next
think
year.
Club TR. I don't. Granted, for me at least over in Laguna, like I never lapped anybody. I was in P5 at the highest, and then I dropped down to like I think P8. In
Yeah.
any case, I didn't lap anyone, and I'm not aware if the people at the front of street class ever got to the tail end of street class. I think
Mhm.
Club TR was the only class that so far that I'm aware of that had lapping issues. Well, I take that back. We were not at Lime Rock, so I think Lime Rock was a lot worse
Probably. Street mod is
because of
another
how small
class
the track was.
because Straight mod is also kind of like that too, where there's some like
Oh, it is.
yeah, I mean like you
Hmm.
have Dewey and Jackie that have like
Oh yeah.
cars like 700 horsepower cars or 500 horsepower cars or whatever they are, and then people in street mod that are not fully prepped to the street mod class running like slow lap times and random cars. So that's another class I think that
Yeah,
has
and it may
issues.
just be like a necessary evil, like in order to maintain this format where they have just the each group running at a time, so that way they
Mhm.
can set the times and then they go into the podium sprint. So like, yeah, it's one of those necessary evils for this kind of competition. And also, lapping people in your class is not necessarily a Grid Life only problem. Other series have the same issue. Heck, even look at Formula One. Max Verstappen come around and lapping the back of the group and lapping people. So I don't know. It might be something that's new to Grid Life, but it's not new to racing or
I feel like
competitive
wheel to
driving.
wheel is different than
That is true.
because wheel to wheel
That
you
is
just kind of get out of the way when you're being lapped,
yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
better caliber of driver. I feel like, but I feel like we talked a lot about
Yeah.
Club TR. So what's up with Street, and what are some changes happening in Street, and what are you doing?
So good to know that none of the stuff that I'm doing has become illegal. So 85 is still fully legal in street class, and that's fine. The big talking point for street class, of course, like every year, is the turbo situation, where the sense that where I'm sitting and how I'm interpreting the rules and how they want to like take street class, they want to bring the class closer together. Um, so yeah, so the rule that they are implementing this year, provisionally so far, this is just provisional, we're still getting feedback, but they want to have anyone that has a non-original turbo, so effectively an aftermarket turbo,
Mm,
they would be required to run a 40 millimeter restrictor in the intake prior, like before the turbo, to restrict airflow.
okay,
That's the big one.
does not apply to you, does it?
Yeah, that's it. No, because I'm still stock turbo. Some stock turbo would not apply to me. A benefit of this is if they do implement this, they are also scratching out the limitation of a boost cap. So right now in street class, there's a 25 psi boost limit,
Okay,
which I am knocking on right now. So like they're like I'm right at 25 psi, and not that I'm like ever going. Well, I shouldn't say ever. There are a couple times like during an upshift where it spikes to 26 for like half a second, but then comes back down to about 22, 23. So it would be nice just to not have to worry about any kind of boost ceiling in that regard.
okay, but how are they gonna know?
But for the intake or for the boost,
Boost.
you have so it actually said it in there. You have to prove compliance via video, data logs, or anything else. If someone were to
Protest, I
protest
guess.
you,
Yeah.
you'd have to be able to prove that you're in compliance and doing 25 psi. You're not doing like moon tunes.
Even with stock
But
turbo?
my stock turbo, the highest I've ever seen it peak to is 27 psi. But again, like this is after an upshift. It's not sustaining 27 psi.
No, but
It's sustaining about.
does that
Go
rule
on.
apply to stock turbos as well, or is that rule only for aftermarket turbos?
It applied to all cars. It
Uh,
applied to stock turbos as well. It says last year, the one they're trying to eliminate, turbocharged cars are limited to a maximum boost pressure of 25 psi.
mm,
Drivers are expected to be able to prove compliance. So if you're not getting on podium, then like no one really cares, and that's why I've never been worried about it since I've never been on the podium or near or really the top five. Trying to be up there, we'll see. But in any case, this restrictor I see. So I think there's some of the street competitors, like up near the top, are saying that they would like to see the restrictor on all turbocharged cars. Like if you're going to restrict turbos and like apply it to everything, the problem with that is right now as the class sits is that you're able to take a completely like a Corolla GR. You can go to the showroom, you could buy the Corolla GR, take it to the track, and compete in street class. Wouldn't be very competitive, but you can do it and fits into the rule sets without any modifications.
mhm,
But if you had a restrictor requirement for all turbo cars, you now need to open up that intake track and install a restrictor.
mhm.
Theoretically, tune it to take advantage of the change in airflow. But like this completely stock car could not compete in a class called street class. And it also kind of gets into
The restrictor's only
the
for aftermarket turbos.
correct.
Yeah,
And I think
so
that's fine. I think that's fine. Granted, I have an OE stock turbo, so like, of course, like maybe that's bias in that, and I'm gonna say like, yeah, have the aftermarket turbos have a restrictor, but in any case,
so
I
let's
don't
say
know. They're just
there's
trying to,
other JDM turbos like for Subarus and Evos that people run, right? They're like
uh-huh.
technically stock, but like they're JDM, OEM, or whatever. Does that count? Like, do you have to run a restrictor for that too?
The way I interpret it and the way I've heard others interpret it is that yes, they would require because it's not the factory turbo that would have come with the sorry, let me reread it. Mandatory unforced induction system using non-original turbo as fitted from the factory.
Gotcha.
So like if it's not the turbo that was intended for your uh VIN or for your I'm reading that as like the car that's intended for USDM. Like
Mm.
they're fitting on a USDM turbo. And so like that turbo is what is expected to be in the car. And if it's not that turbo, then you need to run this restrictor plate.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So it causes,
Basically,
yeah. So there's a lot of conversation around it, and I personally have, as I said, I have no skin in this because I'm OEM turbo, and I will be OEM turbo until it goes out. Actually, even if it does go out, probably just putting on another OEM and drive the car for another 80K miles. But I don't know. It is what it is. So there's the people who have aftermarket turbos. Yeah, they're not too happy, which I don't blame them. Like it sucks to run the restrictor, but it
I'm
also sucks from Abe's and Adam's position where they're trying to, I guess, bring the class closer together.
I kind of like it because it's a lot of these like classes for Good Life, they're becoming like Street was basically Street Mod without Arrow, right, at one point. Um, which not really streetable cars, to be very honest.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that they're making it so you don't have to modify the car to an extreme to make it competitive. Like keep your
Yeah,
stock car, just tune it and then put some coilovers, wheels,
and that's
tires,
like, and
and
that's
that's it.
yeah, and that's the spirit of the class is that like the first line says street is intended for vehicles with minor bolt-on modifications only.
Yeah.
This, and I'll read the second line. This is our enthusiast class. It is intended for advanced HPD drivers and vehicles that are daily driven street cars, or at least daily drivable. So yeah, so like with that rule, it makes it the incentive of staying in street if you do have an aftermarket turbo less enticing. Like if you have an aftermarket turbo, like looking at myself, I probably would just be like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna go street mod, so I don't have to worry about the restrictor, and increase the power, like do whatever to become more competitive. Which is why I still have my Aero, because you never know. Maybe at some point I do need to run Aero. To like if I do end up having the car be more fitting into Street Mod, but I don't have Aero, like that would suck. So if I ever got to the point where the engine is like set up for or class into Street Mod, I would want to make sure I have Aero to fit onto the car, so that way it can hopefully be more competitive.
Mm-hmm.
But this is all me like thinking 5 years down the road.
Mm. You know, when you were reading the description of Street, that reminded me I wanted to read the description of Club TR, and it's so I want to give it a little
What does it
background.
say?
All right, Club TR was supposed to
Uh-huh.
be a class called Street Light. It was supposed to be below Street class, like basic modifications for slower cars, maybe some aero you can add on top of that, and then go out and have fun. It's
Mm-hmm.
basically mini track mod at this point because they're allowing Lexan. They're allowing you to rip out
It really is.
the airbags or whatever, like and all that shit. So it's not really a street light class anymore. So the introduction reads: Club TR is intended for vehicles with minor modifications and basic engine swaps. How do you put minor modifications and basic engine swaps in the same sentence? I don't get it. This is our enthusiast class and is intended for advanced instructor level drivers. So same as street. Uh, this is intended for vehicles that are daily driven street cars, or at least daily drivable. Hell no, it's not. Like if you look at the top 5 or top 10 even of this class, none of these motherfuckers have daily drivable cars. They're not even fucking registered. Excuse my French. Um,
Oh,
the,
actually, do you have that requirement in Club TR that the vehicle must be insured and registered?
no,
Because we do in street class.
I don't think so. Not anymore.
Interesting. Okay, go on.
It was at one point, but now it's not. And this class is designed for naturally aspirated vehicles using OEM equipped or swapped OEM engines from 2.5 liter and under. So that's not true. It's not naturally aspirated. Only you're allowed like the turbo rotaries in here, and you're allowed the 1.6 liter turbo from the GR Corolla. I think I have to sneeze on that. Something's on fire.
You smell something on fire right now?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me just double check.
Cool, we're back.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, so it does say OEM force induction vehicles of 1.6 liter and under are allowed and whatnot. Yeah, the spirit of the class is not what it started out to be, and everyone that was slow essentially complained about it initially, and then including myself, I complained about it. I was like, dude, like why do I have to rip out the interior of my brand new car to be able to competitive? Like this is ridiculous.
You could have bought a different car.
There's no new car that's going to be competitive in Club TR.
Oh, well, okay. I should also have added you could have bought a different car and competed in a different class.
Yeah, I guess I could have. I could have bought a Corvette and
Like,
just gone to Street GT.
you could buy a Supra and go Street GT.
That too. That's kind of what I'm thinking about doing in the future. Because I'm like, dude, I'm tired of just.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
There is just something nice about rolling up to the track in the car without having the trailer and do all these crazy modifications. But on the flip side, I enjoy doing modifications. So this is a class that exists for those that are willing to go to that extent and modify their cars and compete against others that are willing to do the same thing.
Yeah, and I think minor modifications is good. Like I enjoy doing minor modifications too. Like I did not enjoy ripping my car apart. Right? Like I enjoyed putting coilovers on my car, wheels and tires, aero, whatever. But then like taking out the interior, just did not enjoy that. And
yeah, I agree. Like when I ripped out my interior back in 2021 for a super lap battle, that also was not enjoyable. But turns out I'm basically kind of going back to that since all this the half cage in the back.
Nice.
But
my favorite person
in
Gridlife and like the way he competes and whatnot is actually Jason Kanakari.
I agree.
I like 720S, comfortable as heck. He takes it on rallies, and he's like puts a bunch of miles in the car, drives it in the snow, and then he has like I don't know, probably like 900 horsepower or something like that, tuned to it, and then he just goes and like kills everyone in track mod, dude. Like that's if I had all the money in the world, that's what I'd be doing. Ideally, that's what I would be. Yeah. I wouldn't be ripping my car apart to be competitive.
Listen to podcasts. Do you listen to 1010 podcast?
Sometimes, yeah.
Listen to. Did you hear the one with Jason on board where they talked about the rally they did recently?
I don't think so.
Do it. That's a really entertaining episode,
Okay.
and having Jason, yeah, it's such a funny episode. I'll leave it at that. Or
Yeah.
actually, I'll just link to the podcast description so you can go listen to there.
Yeah.
Look at me adding other podcasts, and no one's mentioning us yet. Granted, we've only been on episode 4.
DJ mentioned us. DJ from
When?
Lizard Brains, he tagged me and he's like, "Fez has a podcast."
Oh, but he didn't like mention that's in his podcast.
I don't think so, but he mentioned it on his Instagram.
That's true.
Yeah, and then
Thank
also
you for that, DJ. Thank you for listening to this.
Jason also listened to this podcast, so that's another one. Shout out to Jason.
Nice. Sweet. Okay. So yeah, that's actually kind of need to start wrapping this up because I need to go to the light show with Carol later.
Cool.
We need to pick up our friends. But yeah, so that's the schedule. That is the rule set. I have no problem with it for my car personally. And I know I think it was last episode where I was saying that like I'm gonna try to save money and probably maybe do one event. But man, like this past week with the rules being discussed in street class, it just kind of like lit a flame underneath me where now I really want to go just for like myself and see how the car does and myself.
Yeah.
And also the other thing too is like, yes, I've been to Gingerman, but I was only there in HPD. I never did in Tom Tack setting. So I want to see where I placed against everybody else.
If you want to see Gingerman lap times, like actual good lap times, you have to go to the club event, not the festival. The festival's
yeah, and I'll be doing that too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Do Rev Up, do Midwest.
Yeah.
I've never been to Mid Ohio, so that would be a new track, and Road America would be a new track. That's my goal for every year is at minimum one new track.
Yeah.
Which is why I was so committed to going to Audubon, even though it wasn't that fantastic of a track. True. But I was like, I just want to go and experience it and understand the layout. I love just experiencing new things. So
for sure.
That's the goal.
Before we conclude, I just want to conclude on this note. Last week, we talked about how we both wanted to save money and maybe not do a lot of mods. The rules came out. You were like, I'm not doing a lot of events.
Sorry. Fez, hold on. Fez, 1 second.
What? You just confused me for your wife.
Girl. Yeah, we're wrapping it up. You can't hear me talking? Oh, okay. Apparently I don't talk loud enough. Yeah, we're wrapping it up. All right, Fez, go on.
So I just wanted to like you said that you're not going to do a lot of events because trying to save money. You're also traveling across the country or world or whatever. And then I said I'm not going to modify my car a lot. Just kind of see how it goes, minor things here and there. Rules came out literally 1 week later. We're like, okay, I'm doing these events. I'm doing 4 events. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Fez is also like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna do coilovers, sphericals, this and that. Like, yeah, everything I kind of discussed about last week, I'm doing it now, and I'm doing Lexan because, like, F all y'all, I'm going down as a winner or dying.
Hopefully the former. Mainly for avoiding the dying part.
Yeah, I don't want to die.
Yeah, it'll be pretty cool to see how the car does again this year.
Yeah,
and I'll be curious to see what else some of the other cars running in Club TR with the different engine changes.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the
for myself, I'm just excited. Yeah. Oh, okay. So fun fact, or I'm glad you brought up last time where we're like trying to save money. So there is another asterisk that really applies to the Texas folk or like our little group where we're saying we're going to go to Apex and Eagles Canyon at the end of January. That may not happen for me. Like that was something that Carol said that she said, Nick, if you're going to go to these Gridlife events, then you cannot go to these other Texas events because like you just try to save as much as possible. And like if it's Gridlife, then like just do Gridlife. And that does open up the rest of the year for us to do our other fun activities, like going out to different vacations. We're going to Nashville, by the way, for her birthday.
TFTI.
She signed up. Well, it's her birthday.
Okay. Well, thanks for the invite, Carol. I thought we were friends.
We are, or she is. She left the room. She can't hear you.
Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna go to Nashville for her birthday for the weekend. So like stuff like that, I have to balance all this car stuff with other life activities.
Yeah.
So
and I want to do an off-roading trip with the group as well. We haven't done an off-roading trip in a minute, so I really want to try that for our birthdays this year.
Yes. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is if we just do Gridlife, then that opens up the month of September and Labor Day weekend. for us to go ham on a pretty badass scenic adventure over in the West.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll see.
because if you look at it, like if we do just these Gridlife events, we're done we have only to do the events from May to July, and we're done, right? Like the whole rest of the year.
That's very enticing. Yeah, that's very. Also for me, the fact that like I can have my car very streetable, like, okay, what I mean when I say this is that I can have my street brake pads and street tires. I'm not working on the car, like going back and forth. That's very enticing to me. So,
yeah.
In any case,
Anyways,
excited for this year. Hopefully, it all comes true. We'll be ready for the dates when the not pre-sale. What am I trying to say? Gold Pass when that gets released. We'll be clicking away.
Yeah.
Hey, how did it work last year? Actually, real quick, on Midwest for last year, Midwest Fest, were you able to sign up for Midwest Fest the same day as you got the Gold Pass ticket?
Yes, I was. Just heads up that they are limiting Gold Passes this year, I think, so to be able to sell more events to people that don't want to
Yes.
Gold Passes.
Yeah, I did hear that as well.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. So I'll say like this, these are the events I'm going to try to go to. Obviously, nothing is committed until the transaction actually happens, but those are the intentions of Fez and I for 2024 when it comes to Gridlife.
See you guys out there.
Sweet. All right, I gotta go look at some Christmas lights.
I'm gonna go shower. So. Bye.
Gross. All right, thanks.
Showering is not gross.
Yeah. Anyway,
bye.
The fact you haven't gone this long without, or you have gone this long today without showering.
I showered last night. Don't judge me. Okay, bye.
Oh, you did say inside because you're sick. Yeah. Hold on, wait, there's some other notes real quick. Hold on. Okay, so like if there's anything you want Fez and I to talk about, reach out to us at the Racing Home Podcast Instagram account. Either comment in one of the posts or send us a DM. I will at least read it. I may or may not give Fez the password to the account so then he can also read these messages. But in any case, if you want to reach out to Fez and I through the podcast, hit up Racing Home Podcast on Instagram. Okay, now you can go. Have fun with your shower, Fez.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. See ya.
Time attack. I want to look at time attack rules.
Provisional, please.
Put that in the freaking.
I'll include that. That's very funny.